Welcome to a Song of Ice and Whiskey podcast, where we drink and we know things.
Hello and welcome to another episode of A Song of Ice and Whiskey. I'm Doug Harrelson. Once again, I am here with Luke Aldridge. Luke, what an episode. I feel like I say it every week now.
I'm telling you, they get better every week, and this jumped ahead like this just knocked it out of the park. It was I got a chill down my spine. I watched a couple times, got a chill down my spine both times, and hearing that music coming at the end, just
Whatever they have in
great.
that scene, just inject it into my veins every single day. Oh my goodness. Well, we have a lot to get into, so we don't want to waste too much time with our intro, but it is ceremonial. You know what show it is. This is a Song of Ice and Whiskey, and what would it be without whiskey? Luke, you're finally off the sober kick. We're so proud of you.
Well, I have this same bottle of Woodford. We're kind of working on that. We're probably finishing it off, but that's what I'm drinking tonight. I'm switching from the energy drink and the Prime I had the last two times. What about you, Doug? What do you have?
We're going with an old school, the Bullet Bourbon. I normally drink Bullet Rye, but felt like a good bourbon episode. Though I did drink a good chunk of this already. I had invited a friend over that is now just getting into A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and also had never watched House of the Dragon either, so he's enjoying those early episodes when the show was really good. I am fighting a sneeze. One moment. No, I think I'm good. But yeah, maybe the whiskey will help with the allergies. That's my plan at least. So
I can yeah, whiskey's the catch-all medicine, especially when you work in bars. It's like,
oh yeah,
just drink, man. It'll cut everything out.
I mean on it.
We'll do a little cheers here.
Yeah, cheers. Honestly, with any sinus issues,
All right, go
I
ahead.
absolutely love a hot toddy or something like that to soothe an aching throat. All right,
Softens up the edges.
for sure. And speaking of edges, this episode was a little edgier and a little darker and a little bit more. Did you notice that sort of thematic thing? This felt more like a Game of Thrones episode than what we've seen in the first three episodes for sure.
It sure did. I mean, there wasn't the whistling music, and it wasn't quite as cheery. There's just some dark moments. A lot of serious things happened. I mean, the episode moved forward quite a bit, and I really enjoyed the dark themes and kind of the candlelit meetings and the rain soaked interactions. It was definitely kind of sobered up the season so far.
Yeah, so it sobered up the whole mood for sure. And when we talk about the music, it's very easy to point out the scene where we get the old Game of Thrones music, but it did feel like just everything was a little bit darker, everything was a little bit more tense, everything has felt sort of fun and easygoing for our main characters until this episode, or until honestly the last scene of episode 3 and into this episode. That mood has, which is kind of how the book feels too. They've done a really good job of capturing the spirit of the book. Now, granted, they're doing a good job of also keeping the quotes like book accurate and stuff. But oh man,
It's
the tension.
Yeah, I'm impressed with that they've stuck to it so well. Like everything you'd want to, like the serious dialogue you'd want to hear, is they catch it word for word from what I've seen. And basically they have to add things in, of course, but I'm impressed by that too. I mean, I'm enjoying all the extra fleshing out of the characters, and fleshing out of those scenes that are an inner dialogue of inside Dunk's head. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's it feels like these moments have been earned though. It's like this intense like sort of tension. It's not just kind of fabricated. It is we have earned this through great writing, through great storytelling.
Mhm.
Yeah, like we can ramble on and on about the big meta pictures about this episode, but let's dig into it. Opening scene, we have Dunk getting greeted by Egg while he is locked up. Egg offers him some food, offers him an apology. Dunk is not having it. How'd you feel they executed this scene?
I think it was executed pretty well. I watched the inside the episode after the episode, and they said they did multiple takes. They said in one take he was even angrier than he was in the one that they ended up with, and they had one where he was a little more sorry and or a little more accepting. But I think they mixed it up pretty well because he doesn't just defer to him because now he knows he's a Targaryen. He doesn't say, "Of course, my lord," whatever is okay. He has put him in this pickle, whether he meant to or not, and you know, because of he's angry at his lies as well as his brother Daeron's. Uh, so I mean, he shows that anger, but I think he's kind of testing him out to make sure because Egg at the beginning explains my uncle said I must beg your forgiveness, and it's almost like he's testing out like, are you really sorry, or are you just doing what your uncle told you to do? And I think he starts tearing up, and he's like, dry your eyes, and I think he finally realizes, okay, well he didn't mean to put me in this position. He's disappointed in his older brother, and he just wanted to, in my opinion, Dunk's thinking like he thinks I'm the true knight. I'm a true knight, and he just wanted a true knight to squire for. So he kind of softens up a little bit, and that's you know he he's understandably angry because at this point he's like I could die,
Yeah,
I could be executed because this kid lied to me, and
yeah, absolutely.
it could all end. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he definitely seems frustrated, but fairly so. You've put me in a compromised position. It's all because you
Mhm.
wanted to squire for this tournament. He even says you would have squired for a
Yeah,
donkey if he was without a squire, and he hits him with the line of "Heaven forbid," I forget the exact quote, but God forbid a prince of the realm is disappointed or sad, like mocking him, and
yeah, yeah. He yeah,
he still keeps it's very much similar energy that he had before the reveal, but now it's more vented in like frustration. But I think that perfectly contrasts in the next scene whenever he have we lost Luke, I believe. Oh no, never mind. My computer screen froze up for a second, but you were still there. We are good to go. That transitions perfectly into the next scene where when Baelor
of
tells
course.
him that Egg has done him an unfairness by leading him to Arion and putting his life in risk, and tells Egg not to spill the wine on him. He defends Egg, says he's a good boy, he's a good lad,
He does,
and Egg
and
also
of course,
continue.
what I was gonna say is that there was that line like I've already what did he say? I've already struck one prince, I've already picked one prince. I don't want to keep another one waiting.
That was a great line too.
And
Sorry, I brushed over
you
the
know,
first thing that quickly, but
yeah, no, you're fine. Uh, I think he thinks a lot of Baelor, as he should.
yeah,
Baelor is this, and I think even in this situation, he doesn't want to. He probably knows Baelor is his best chance to, you know,
get out of this thing
have a
alive.
fair set, have a fair, give him a fair shake, give him a listen because he's seen some of the other Targaryens and he could be dead without anybody hearing his defense. But he's like this guy has the most power at this tourney, and again, he's hand of the king. He has carte blanche to kind of mete out his judgment. His father's not there. The king is back in King's Landing. But yeah, but again, to wrap that up, I agree that that line was very interesting. But back to what you were saying, he goes in and he's told Egg has done him a great wrong, but like you said, he defends him, and Egg kind of looks up and he's like kind of surprised because he thinks he's probably going to agree with him, but he's kind of perks up. But yeah,
I also appreciate Baylor here showing strength without cruelty. He tells Dunk that what you have done is stupid. You should not have done that. But Dunk is actually able to challenge him by saying, "Isn't this what a knight is supposed to do?" And he's like, "What would you do?" He said, "I'm a, crowned prince. I can strike a Targaryen. For a hedge knight, it's very stupid." And the line he says there, "Don't we all take the same oath?" Really cutting, and it's one of the few times that maybe anyone's challenged the virtue of Baylor, and that line kind of echoes with me. I feel like it probably echoed with Baylor in the reason that he was willing to defend him when we get to the penultimate scene, the climax of this episode. That little line here from Dunk might have been the thing that challenged him to do that.
I think so too. Everybody around him, other than maybe his brother, just sucks up to him. I mean, you see the crowd; they're all scared. I mean, that's getting ahead, but but Baylor's he's not used to straight talk. He's used to being deferred to. So it has to be pretty poignant coming from what is he, 16 or 17?
And he obviously respects Dunker. They wouldn't even be in the same room having this conversation in the first place.
Right. He offers him a drink. Has Egg pour him a cup of wine.
Yeah.
So he understands humility. Having a prince pour this hedge knight that hit the other prince. And it's pretty interesting. I love that scene.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Of course Yep, and it moves along. He kind of explains the situation. He's like, "Here's where you are." He says, "How good a knight are you? What did he say?
What's your skill at arms?
What's your skill at arms, essentially?" And it said he taught me, Sir Arlen taught me sword and shield, taught me how to tilt, and he basically says, and he kind of starts explaining it to him. He's like, "Well, we can have it's your right. There's one option."
Somebody hinted at, this is definitely one where if you are a Game of Thrones regular, you know what this is. This might be one of the scenes that for people that are new to the series, it'll be explained in the next scene. But he's he's telling him, like, if you think you're going to not get a fair trial here, which I don't think you're going to get a fair trial here, you can settle this with a sword and shield if you would prefer. But
right, and he explains to them. Of course, there's the whole arc of Daron told Maekar that Dunk kidnapped Egg.
Yeah,
and of course Daron did that to get out of responsibility. So it already looks bad, and I think he says if that wasn't the case, if that little nugget hadn't happened, then maybe a little bit of different story, but you struck this person, whether it was right or wrong. And it's like you said, the trial's not going to go well if it's a normal trial. He said you punched him, so the last person that struck a Targaryen lost a hand. And he said, by the way, you kicked him too, right? It's like, yep. He's like, well, and he kind of implies, like, you could lose your hand, you could lose your foot. I mean, that would ruin you for the rest of your life. And of course, he,
especially if you want to be a knight.
Being the fair person, exactly, and being again, it speaks a lot to his sense of justice. And he's like, this is really your only option I can give you, because there is, even though he has a lot of power, Baylor does, he doesn't have the power to override traditions and basically the rules of justice. So he explain again. So we're back to that. He explains you can demand a trial by combat, but you better be you better know what you're doing because I mean, Arion has been trained very well. He's been trained by the best in the realm. So, yeah.
And then we do have. It cuts to immediately Dunk awkwardly asking for trial by combat. There's a subtle nod from Baylor saying, yes, this is what you do. But Arian isn't okay with just doing that, is he?
Nope. He, of course, he has to make things more complicated. So he awkwardly asked that, and then, of course, Makar. I don't know sometimes I don't know what to make of Makar. He just seems exasperated with his children. He's like, this guy's doing this. This guy's,
It's a
this guy's a
Targaryen
drunk.
tradition
This guy's
to be the
idiot.
mightiest struggled with family situations.
Right. Well,
Could you imagine
Arion
raising a
balks at it.
Targaryen child? I'd rather chew glass.
Oh, and imagine having four or five kids. How many does he have? 4, 5, and
I know he has 4
and
sons.
they all
he has
have
a certain number of daughters.
right.
Unfortunately,
he's got all
history
these
of
issues
Westeros does not care about daughters. It's on there.
Right. Of course, yeah. So he basically, he kind of balks at this, and he says, and Makar's angry because he's like, well, you accused him of this. He's asked for a trial by combat. You're afraid to fight this. What's that?
It's $2 for him. Continue. Sorry.
Okay. Right. Of course, they're not mentioned, but so Arion is and Makar talks to Arion. He's like, so you're afraid to face this night, and of course, Arion's not, I mean, he may be crazy, but he's not completely stupid. He's clever. He's like, no, Daron's been wrong too.
Yeah.
It's like so the gods have to decide. He is a little. He's afraid.
He does not give a damn about Daron's honor. Daron doesn't even care about Daron.
No, he doesn't. Yeah. He's got he's a foot shorter than Dunk, and I think he's just afraid of him. He's afraid to face him, and so he drags them into it. Of course, Makar's irritated, and it's like, what the hell's a trial of 7? And it still surprises me that he didn't know that, and somehow Arion knew that, Baylor knew that, but somehow Makar didn't. That still blows my mind. But
do you know the last time there was a trial of 7 in Westeros? Let's put my co-host on the chopping blocks, guys.
So he said, I was thinking about this. He said 100 years ago. I feel like this was more than 100 years ago. But was that was it the Poor Fellows or the other group? The
Warrior Sons?
It was the Poor Fellows, the other group. It was an issue with, it was Magor. Wasn't it Magor?
It is. Magor was the last one standing
it was
for the
Magor.
last trial of 7. All other 13 members.
Was it the Poor Fellows?
No, it was the Warrior Sons.
Right.
Yeah.
The Warrior Sons. I get them mixed up.
Yeah.
So they're both religious groups.
Fanatics,
so
and
I don't remember the exact thing. Of course, it's in your book that hasn't showed up in months. It's In a World of Ice and Fire. That's where that lore is.
I got my refund finally, so we're just gonna have to purchase it again. But we got our refund. I did not pay for something I didn't get, so that is a plot line that, unlike the ones in Game of Thrones, we actually completed. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, you're good. It's a fantastic read. Like, and that part of it, I've read it twice. So, but again, I don't remember the details. I just remember, like you said, it's Warrior Sons.
Yeah.
And Magor comes out on top on that one. But they said 100 years ago. I think it was more than 100 since that trial of 7. But either way,
that would have been like 40 or 50-ish AC, like maybe. Actually, maybe sooner than that. And we're around like 200-ish? Like the early 200s
180
AC right now is when
something
the
like
events
that.
of this.
But nevertheless, you have this one, and it's a storied. I mean, it's a storied history. And this will come in. This will come in later when we're talking about, you know, him getting his buddies for that. This is a big deal,
Yeah.
you know, and it does not happen every 10 years or whatever. So they're kind of setting that up, and I think that was about the end of it. Of course,
Do you like
it's
Arion just
hilarious.
crushing
Make
nuts
ours
with a
like,
dagger repeatedly instead of paying attention?
yeah, yeah. And
Easter
then
egg, that
was it
dagger
Lord
looks like
Ashford?
one
He's
on
making.
Damon. That dagger that he's breaking the nuts up with,
Oh yeah,
it looks like one that Damon carries.
I never
The
thought of that.
Targaryens have all their
Is
little
it? Is it?
nuggets.
Yeah. Is it Lord Ashford that he makes pick up his
I
stuff or
believe
whatever?
so.
Did you catch
Yeah.
that?
Like,
So,
it's
and of
giving
course,
me
Makar's
Aegon with
rolling his eyes at
it's
everything.
giving me Aegon with Tywin Lannister and his son, saying, "Will the Master of Coin give give Jaehaerys
Yeah,
a piggyback ride?"
yeah,
Fantastic.
it's a power move, and Baelor would obviously never do anything like that. Makar is just exasperated.
He's
Makar
so
cracks me up.
exhausted with Arion's BS.
Yeah, well,
So
it's
had
funny
it.
because and then he's like, you see his hand come out of nowhere. It's like, come here. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, it just cracks me up, and it's like you just this is all his fault. Yeah, it's like all you had to do is withdraw this accusation. But again, so that's the long and short of that scene. But so in the end, of course, he tells Duncan, "You got to find your people. You got to find. Is it 6 or 7 other knights?
You gotta find 6 other because it'll be
It's
7
7,
total,
6
including
other,
yourself.
just 7 total.
We've got
Of
to honor the
course.
gods,
So yeah.
the Andal
So
tradition.
now he's on the hunt, and that's right. Of course, Makar's.
Oh,
Oh,
the
if the
Andals
Andals
did
did
it.
it.
So. Okay, because there's
I
been some
feel
debate
like
whether that was like
Makar's.
sarcastic or genuine, and I was like, that was 100% sarcastic. And if you didn't think it then,
Oh yeah.
his following concept being like you're using some 6,000-year-old Andal foolery to get out of a one-on-one fight, like Makar is a warrior. Like,
Yeah.
do not get his angry
Yeah.
lip
He is.
confused or his like political lip. Like he is a warrior.
Mhm.
So
He is, and I think he fought alongside Baelor in the Blackfire Rebellion, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
yeah, I mean
in
all the
the Red Grass
Targaryens were
Fields
yeah.
battle.
Especially
Yeah.
the
He's
best
salty
of the
though.
fighters. But
Salty is the adjective. That's
yeah.
the last thing I'll say about that scene. Salty is the adjective I would give Makar.
All right. So we're gonna combine a few scenes going just so we can get. I really want to get to the climax of this episode.
Yep.
There's a lot of great nuggets in this episode, and I look forward to recapping
Mhm.
this again. But a couple of things happen kind of back to back. We have Dunk meeting with Sir Stefan Fossaway, who has given this real passionate speech about how he's gonna have your back, and that he's like, they're the House of the Dragon. Where are their dragons? And that
Yeah.
he's going to that his house will be around longer than the Targaryens from this foreign land, and he's got your back. Just to lead to what we'll get to eventually, and then also Egg and Daron pop in the tent after him. This whole tent scene, a lot of moving pieces. Anything you want to start with in particular from this scene?
I was going to ask you your opinion on this. So we don't know this, but do you think that Arion? I don't think Makar got to him. I don't think Makar would have offered him a lordship. It was definitely Arion.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you think Arion got to him before that meeting? So you think he was lying from the get go?
That
You think he was lying from the get go, or do you think he started out just wanting to be part of this big thing, or do you think he
he might have had this
was like,
conversation
hey, I
with
need
bad
you to.
intentions, and as soon as the conversation happened, he immediately relayed to Arion like, "Hey, so I got some information. Do you wanna? I can maybe help you out. You help me
Right.
out." I will
Of course, because
say
Stefan didn't. He didn't.
they brought this up on the Lightbringer recap episode that
Right.
It could be something that Arion was promising that he actually has no authority to give, and it was never actually going to be given. We'll see. Like, this could be outside of Arion's control.
Yeah. He has no scruples, so he would
Make an empty
he would lie to
promise.
him
Yeah,
anyway.
absolutely.
But I guess my thought is like, did he say like, you're gonna throw him off the scent, waste his time so he has no one else picked up, like he has no other knights, make him think you're gonna round up a posse for him, and then he shows up, he's by himself.
Yeah.
I guess we don't know. I'm just speculating here, and I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a mix of the two, but anyways, but Stefan does offer, and it is kind of heartening at the moment if you don't know what's going to happen, because it's a rough world. I mean, this is in like a medieval kind of setting, and like I mean, he of course Raymond is a great friend. He's immediately like just a great person.
Yeah.
But like just the thought of someone showing up like, you're not going to die on my watch, and things are going to be fine. I'm gonna round up these people for you. You got my sword, and you're going to have my friend's sword. It's like, that's surprising, and that's a big boost, because he, in Dunk's mind, he's thinking, I'm fucked, or I'm screwed. I'm not going to find anybody to fight for me against the Targaryens, and I'm going to lose my hand. But
we have the explicit
Stefan
tag
gives
on
his
iTunes now.
speech.
It's too late. Embrace. Now, we can't go crazy. YouTube apparently is fine with some amount as long as it's not excessive. It's not early in the video, so we're fine.
Yeah. Every other word, yeah. But again, I think that is a boost to him. But then, of course, he leaves, and we get Aegon, or Egg, popping up with Daron, and he has his own offer at the end. But first, he basically has a kind of a half explanation of, what happened, and he explains. Was it him that explained about the Kingsguard being ordered by Maekar, or was that Daron?
Egg was the one that mentioned that.
Okay. So he's kind of giving the rundown. He's like, I'm still going to be your squire. You're still going to need me. And he tells him he's going to round up his own posse. So now Dunk is like, oh, I'm covered. And of course, Daron kind of tries to give an explanation. Dunk flies off the handle, pulls out a knife, has him down there, and loses his temper, rightfully so, because Daron's lie is part of the reason he's in this pickle.
Oh,
so
yeah, 100%.
There's three different now they have obviously different intentions, but there's three different Targaryens who have caused this. Aerion's obviously the worst, but Egg put him in this position by not revealing his identity, and Daron lied about Egg being kidnapped. So if one or two of these people hadn't made accusations or done this or that, he might have gotten out of this easier. But of course, then he has do you have anything to say about Aegon or anything in that scene?
The loyalty Aegon is showing here is something that we will always find endearing. Like, he's no longer just interested in Dunk as just like someone to let him squire. He actually does see the virtue in Sir Duncan the Tall. Like, he sees him as a virtuous and courageous knight, and I think Egg's moral compass points him in that direction to want to be the honorable knight that serves because he's Targaryen, but he's not in a realistic place in the line of succession to consider like a political thing at this stage.
Right.
He knows that he's possibly like a knight, or maybe he works in service on like the council or something to that extent. Right. I think he finds Dunk as someone who inspires him to be the good. Similar to how Baelor inspires Dunk.
Right.
The thing from this scene that stuck with me was after Darion took him out, and then the one-on-one conversation with Darian and Dunk. I don't know whether it's been confirmed, but I think there's a lot of people that believe the reason he is a heavy drinker is because of the dreams. He doesn't want to have the dreams anymore. It is a burden on him. So he drinks to forget. He drinks to deal with the pain. Some of us have done that from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not my proudest stages of my life, but I've fallen victim to that, and I never had prophetic dreams.
Of course.
we could do a whole episode on dragon dreams.
Right. Just a quick thought. I won't get into it too much, but to harken back to, was it Helena? Is that her name? Helena Targaryen?
Yeah.
I
think she's a green seer, not a dreamer. I don't think she has the dreams.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, never mind. She had a different talent, but yes, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But I think Daron, I think he finally realizes when he has that side talk that Daron, he may not be a very courageous person or an extremely honorable person, but he is nothing like the monster that Aerion is. Yeah. He's like, hit me on the side of the helm, knock me over. He's like, I don't want to die today. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm dragged into this. We're good. So
I don't want to fight, man.
I think you're right about Egg though. Yeah, and back to one thought on Egg when you were talking about Egg looking up to Dunk. Like I mean, your average 10-year-old royal kid, royal prince is the thought that he would be willing to follow this guy around, and it's very unusual because most kids would be like, I just want to play and eat good food and goof off, and I think he sees his brothers and he just doesn't have much to look up to, and he's just a spirited kid, and I think Dunk is obviously that older brother.
Yeah, the older brother he never had. Yeah, I can totally see that.
Right.
We still got.
He doesn't have a Baelor.
Yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't have a Baelor to look up to. He's got like Makar had a Baelor to look up to. Yeah. He has Daron. But one more thought. I wanted to bring up the scene where he was talking about how cruel Aerion was, and they both just have low opinions of it. Like he went to his room when he was younger, put a knife between his legs, and said,
"Threatened to cut off his man.
I'm going to make you
turn him into a sister.
I have too many brothers. I'm going to make you a sister so I could marry you." It's like he's a psycho. Yeah. He's Joffrey before Joffrey.
Yeah. that definitely has the Joffrey tendencies. We have a lot of great stuff to talk about, and this entire tent scene was very deep and heavy, and loved every minute of it. Real quickly, Steely Pate on the side of the good, sets him up with the shield, reframes it when he also waited for him at Tanzel's tent. He knew that is where he'd go. Mm-hmm. Reinforced the shield, supports Dunk whenever he feels that it looks like death and sadness, and tells him, no, man, this tree is alive. Then also hits him with the shield motto, oak and iron guard me well, or else I'm dead and doomed to hell. It's a repeated phrase in the book in italics that goes through Dunk's head, and I still think the best part of this entire scene is he's like, how much do I owe you for all of this? And he's like, for you, 1 copper.
A copper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. A side thought about Steely Pate.
A real one.
If you don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
He kind of, when I think of Steely Pate helping Tansel out, helping Dunk, it's almost like service industry helps service industry. He kind of reminds me of like the bartender at a certain type of bar that's, sees people in other parts of the industry and kind of protects them. You have the puppeteers and you have just kind of working class protects working class. I just thought that was really cool. And that kind of ties into the whole thing where Dunk finds he has to have all these things happen
Yeah.
for him to survive in this. He has Raymond, Steely Pate, just Baylor being the person he is, because he could have died or lost his hand or his teeth a long time ago. And it's like all these things just had to happen for him to survive to this point.
Yeah. The right allies. I would love to talk about Steely Pate more, but we do
Oh yeah.
need to talk about what most of this episode is surrounded by. And one thing I kind of think about with him coming to the tourney grounds after an evening of trying to find every knight that would support him to no avail, how much sleep do you think Dunk got on this evening?
Can't imagine he got much. Of course, we don't see him going back to his little campsite. Yeah, he. Yeah, he's probably thinking he could die in a day or two, and the stress, the anxiety, and nothing to temper it. Maybe some ale, but nothing to temper that, and just the stress of like these specific things have to happen. Of course, he does have in his mind, at this point, he's got Stefan finding some people, he's got Aegon finding his people, but there's got to be plenty of doubt in his mind because none of this is guaranteed.
But then he walks through and sees a handful of knights.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty promising. He sees his buddy Lionel. Of course, Lionel's there. And I think a lot of that has to do with, I think we realize that they show up because, again, this is the event of the century. It hasn't happened in 100 years or so.
For Lionel, that's 100% the case. He almost has this like, bro, you almost let me miss out on history. I also love I knew you were trouble. And he's not saying it in a bad way. He's saying, I liked you. I knew you were trouble.
Oh yeah,
we've been having
these. I mean,
we've been having the argument at work whether some people said on social media that Lionel was portrayed as being gay in the show. I was like, hold up, I don't know if that's true. He likes to sing and dance. If y'all see other subtext or other things, sure, leave a comment. Like, because after talking with two of my coworkers, they're like, I don't think he's gay. I think he's bisexual. And
that's what I was thinking. That's my best guess. I wouldn't know, but I guess, I mean, it makes sense. He's very sassy. We'll give him that.
Straight men can be sassy too. Y'all leave us a comment and let us know if you think that the Lionel Baratheon is, to quote Lady Olenna, a sword swallower through and through, or if he occasionally likes to participate in a Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, I kind of agree with your coworkers. He could be bi, but
I'm outnumbered then.
Right. Yeah. What was your guess? Completely straight, gay, bi?
I hadn't considered it until enough people started saying it. I just thought he was a little bit eccentric.
Yeah.
Like,
I could go that way too. I mean, I think he just likes to have fun, and I think we don't know that level. We're not royals. We don't have endless wealth and endless possibilities. And if okay,
I'm kidding,
Sir. Yeah,
the Crown Prince Harrelson.
Yeah,
I'll drink to that.
I think he. Yeah, cheers. I think. I honestly think he. When all you do is party every night, you kind of have whatever you want at your disposal. You want some glory. You want to stand out. And a lot of these nights don't have a chance to stand out. They're just another night. They're just another Lord's son. And taking part in something this big, they know they're going to make history, whether they die or not.
Oh, I think the partying is just something to get by for moments of glory. I think the moments of glory are the thing that Lionel Baratheon craves. Like I said,
Oh
his
yeah,
tone almost
he
comes
has
off
unending
of,
confidence.
you think I would miss this? And then also the idea of getting
Mhm.
getting the King's Guard in their pretty white gowns all dirty.
Oh
Absolutely
yeah,
brilliant. Like, I love... If you don't love Lionel Baratheon at this point, you're never going to like him.
yeah, and we don't have we don't really see this. So all this comes to a serious boiling point later on in Robert's Rebellion. It's like, okay, we've had it with these crazy people, but we don't see a lot of dialogue about like we just hate the Targaryens. We don't see it, you know. But there's a lot of animosity and there's a lot of built up,
I don't think this is
anger.
about animosity for him. I
And
think this is about bragging rights because the King's Guard are supposed to be the best knights in the kingdom, and he kind of wants to get them in
right,
the dirt just to be like, they're the best knight. What is it? A Chrysler 300 looks like a Phantom until a Phantom pulls up. I think
right,
Lionel Baratheon wants to show, oh, they're the best knights in the kingdom. That's only because they don't have to go against me.
yeah, for him.
Yeah.
I guess I'm thinking
Oh,
more
some
of
of the other
Stefan.
ones, yeah. The
Like
Robin
Stefan's
Riesling.
speech,
Uh,
right?
also,
Robin Reisling
is it
said he
Humphrey
said,
Harding? I believe it's
"I'm."
Humphrey Harding with a broken leg.
Is that the one that broke his leg?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Uh,
as long as I can ride a horse, I can still fight. And it was Arian's debt to pay.
that's brave.
And we're here to collect.
Yeah, yeah.
I do think some
Well,
number of them are doing
I
it
think
for
there's a little
honorable.
bit of
Lionel just wants glory.
yeah. Well, because Robin Riesling said something like, "I'm the king's man. I fight for the crown, but when the
Robin
crown goes against
Riesling
the
would
gods,
die
I'll
for the
fight."
crown if called to. But when the crown goes
Mhm.
against the gods, Robin Riesling goes against the crown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely
he,
brilliant.
someone who's stabbed through the eye and still is like, "I'm gonna get this done." I think someone like that has to have this sense of duty, this sense of honor, But it's a fantastic scene.
Yeah.
I mean, multiple times I said this before, but multiple moments in this episode sent chills down my spine. Just like I got up and cheered at the end,
Oh,
but we'll talk
I
about
was
that in a
screaming
minute.
and yelling at the end. Like, in a good way. I was like,
Oh,
F yeah, F yeah. So next
oh,
we
and
do get Stefan's
we,
betrayal is like the next sort of critical moment that happens in this scene. And this is also kind of Raymond's, like, obviously he gets knighted in this scene, but this is kind of like
mhm,
a coming of age moment that even he, like Egg, is inspired by Dunk. Because I think before he
mhm.
met Dunk, he might not have stood up to his cousin the way he did in this scene.
Yep, he kind of deferred to him.
Yeah.
It was funny. I forgot to mention this, but earlier he was like, "It pains me to say it, but he's a great sword," or something.
Why does it pain
He's
you?
like, "Why the hell? Why does it? Why does it pain you to?"
Because you're a prick.
That cracked me up. But
That's why it pains me.
but yeah, I think he hit the final straw. It was, oh, you're gonna have to find two knights because I'm going to help them because I'm going to be a lord. And he's like, okay, you have no redeeming qualities. You've just shown your ass.
I was curious.
So
It was going to be a big thing because the first episode made Stefan look like such a jerk. It was, how are they going to make the betrayal seem genuine? And the speech he gave early
mhm,
on, if I hadn't read the book, I would have been like, I'm Sir Stefan's man. Like, line me up. But
yeah,
by the end of that scene, you believe in him, but then we get this scene, and he betrays it with such a coldness and a callousness, and that moment feels genuine and earned and not just sort of fabricated. Like, there's
mhm,
one of the issues with the scene, the blood and cheese scene, I think, is because we had no sort of intimate relationship with Aegon's child, so we don't feel the pain from it in the same way. We feel the pain for Helena losing a child, but
right.
Stefan had like been a jerk and then had the natural redemption arc coming just for it to be snatched away from you in a way that made that moment truly painful.
Right.
That's why Dunk says we are
Yeah.
lost. We are done.
I'm I'm sure you and I, both thought the same thing when we heard Stefan's original speech about, and so we were like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's like when he said, "You're not gonna die on my watch." I'm like, that is awesome, and of course we know what happens,
Yeah.
but again, it's like just for a second, it's like, and that's what I was talking about earlier when it was like, do you think he meant it, or you think he had met before? And we don't know that yet. We literally don't know. But what did he say? He said, a lot of men have done a lot less.
Oh, have sold their honor for
done a lot more for a lot
honorable
less.
men have sold their honor for less, or something to that extent.
Yes. Yeah, something to that extent, but
we give you these episodes mostly
Dunk.
fresh. We get like maybe 2 watches through, and we don't get to write down every single quote that we want to talk about on the show. So if anything is not exactly accurate on our first reactions, that is what they are. They are first reactions.
Yes, and yeah, it's very contrasting. I think that's the point though, is to contrast him to, let me go along to get along. Let me do me, and who cares about anybody else? And opposed to Dunk, who at multiple points could have not interfered, could have not done this or that. He could have taken Plummer's offer, and he had an easy like win. He would be a champion in the next round, and he'd still be an attorney. But his honor, you saw his face. His honor could not let let Tansel have her finger broken by this dude.
As a knight, you are called to defend the innocent.
Yes, and again, contrast to someone like Stefan. Yeah. It's like just completely dishonorable. But
this might be the benefit of being a knight that comes from a poor background as opposed to one that comes from a noble house where you're just entitled to lands, to arms, to the ability to do whatever the hell you want as long as you're not insulting a family higher than yours.
Mm-hmm.
All right, speaking of the Fossilways, though, we talked about it before. I loved the shooting of his knighting. Lionel had to step in because Dunk was taking too long and things were going on. And there is debate on the internet right now. Did Lionel know that Dunk has never been declared a knight? TV show watchers might not know this. It's hinted at subtly, but it might be a little too subtle. Sir Arlen never truly knighted Dunk. So by all technical standards, he is not legally a knight. So any knight can make a knight, challenges his honor. He doesn't want to create false knights.
Right.
Hence the pause. Some people believe that Lionel caught up on it. I tend to believe that Lionel believes that Sir Dunk had never had an opportunity to knight someone as a new knight and as someone from a poor background. He almost wanted to say, hey, any knight can make a knight. You can do this. Then after the pause, he says, all right, I'll just do it. Go talk to them.
Right. So my guess, I think the other plausible explanation, and I think George wants us to fuss over this, is Raymond has become his friend. He knows he's this young guy, and he's just super nice to him and treat him well. And he doesn't want to drag him into
make him a false knight in particular.
Right, but on top of that, I think he just doesn't want him to die on his behalf. That's my personal opinion. I think
that's a fair explanation.
That's my personal opinion. I think I think it's more that than. But I see your point. I think George Martin wants us to fuss over this. I think he wants us to kind of wonder about that. And
he does leave an air of mystery to a lot of his writing. Like,
Yeah,
Stuff is
and
spelled out, some
Lionel,
is not. Continue.
I don't think we know. I don't think George wants us to know. I think he wants us to speculate over this. But it is kind of a convenient time. He's like, "Oh, I got to talk to Ashford," and he's like, he sees that whatever the case, he does see the hesitation, and he's like, "Go, I got this." And he definitely knows that Dunk has never knighted another knight, for sure. He may, whether he thinks he's a knight or not officially, he hasn't done that ceremony. So, but that camera angle
That's
just killed it.
ceremony. That's
That
ceremony.
from above, that was one of the chills down my spine.
I was gonna say that was
He
the
does.
first scene that kind of like watered up my eyes a bit. Like
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's
I got
swagger.
in
Like,
4 watches before we did this, so this is more than I normally am able to get into. The timing
Who
of
had-
us recording
I
this
did-
episode,
yeah.
I got 4 in, and I think I cried in 2 of them. One of them, first thing in the morning, just woke up, wasn't there, and then the last one was because I'm sitting there with a notepad, making sure I have good notes for us to do the show with.
Right.
I love
Yeah,
the
I definitely-
superimposed the overlay of him giving the knights vows. I get really into the
fantastic.
religion of the 7 stuff. Like it's not that
Yeah.
not that I praise the 7. Okay, this is we are of the old gods in this household. Thank you very much.
Yes.
But
We're a werewood
yeah, where's my werewood tree?
podcast.
But
But yeah, it's definitely he has this swagger when he knights Raymond. It's like he pulls out that sword, and that sword looks so bad. That sword looked awesome.
yeah.
I mean, it was very. I don't know if I'd have to look into if that's a Valyrian steel sword.
I don't
I'm not sure.
believe they have a Valyrian steel sword in the Baratheon household. If we are
House
incorrect,
Baratheon doesn't have
please
one.
correct us in the comments. But I don't
Right.
know all of them off the top of my head. But there's only a handful of them, and they're scattered to some odd houses at times. But I don't believe because the Baratheons came up because of Boros Baratheon, who was the hand to Aegon during the conquest after Argalek the Arrogant was defeated at Storm's End. He rewarded Boros by giving him the castle, where he took up their former coat of arms. But we will get more into that at another time. That is a discussion for another day. We'll talk about Aegon's conquest, I'm sure. So
We sure will.
Raymond's knighted,
But yeah, that scene was great.
but now we got to get to the very end of this scene, and Dunk is challenging, asking for help as Bracken the Brute is ripping flatulence as a mockery of him. And of all people, he's asking anyone to help him. Who helps him as the Game of Thrones music begins to cue up and play? Baelor Targaryen. Of all people.
I'm telling you, involuntary chills down my spine both times I watched it. It just it hit so well. There's only a handful of scenes in Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. There's a few others, but not many. And this hit right. It hit more than probably any other scene in this show so far.
It was a great time to bring the music back too, because they used the music early on when Dunk is just beginning his journey, and it's kind of like that heroic moment. And then it hits right here, but here it's genuine and intense. And when I talk about the tonal shift and everything, I want to give a lot of credit to Sarah Adina Smith. If I'm mispronouncing the middle name, I'm pretty sure I got Sarah and Smith down. But if I'm mispronouncing that middle name, please somebody correct me. She has directed episode 3 and episode 4 so far, and she did direct episode 6. We haven't seen that yet. We'll get to that when we get to it. The ability to shift the tone of this lighthearted show and make it more intense and tension-filled, and it made this scene hit really hard, because if it had been like all the other episodes, more lighthearted and fun, we wouldn't have been in a place to receive this the way we did. But this hit in the chest Like, the first
It
time
did.
it's playing, I'm just like standing up in the living room, just yelling profanities and
I'm
thumping
telling
my
you.
fist, and my roommate's like looking at TikToks, being like, "Why is my roommate so weird?"
That happened to me today. I watched it, so I only watched it 2 times through. Second time, just hours ago, I just stood up. I was like, I had to. I mean, it, and I watched the inside the episode, and she said she heard that in
Yeah,
her head.
yeah, I know what you're
She's
talking about.
playing that scene. It's like she's like, oh, I have to. Oh man, he shows up, and what does he say? Makar. It's like he attacked my
Have you
son,
taken leave
and
of your senses? Like, he attacked my son.
right, and he's like,
He did what any
I'm
honorable knight is
blanking on what he
supposed to do.
said,
He defended the innocent as any knight is supposed to.
and something like the gods will.
May the gods will prove if he is innocent or guilty.
Right. Oh man, great scene, and we're gonna remember that for a long time. That's
That felt
gonna
like an old
resonate through the
school,
ages.
like mid-season 4 Game of Thrones moment, which is honestly shocking considering the lighthearted nature of the show. I didn't expect that moment to actually hit that hard. That was well done. I don't think I thought that might be the beginning of an episode when I first was reading the books, because I thought that the battle would take up the most of an episode, which is probably where the next episode's going to go.
Yeah.
We have ran a little bit long on time, so I don't think we're going to have time for a spoiler section. Except
As
for,
usual.
we are going to spoil something for you. Except you, the audience, know the result already. We're going to tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl. Isn't that right, Luke?
Oh, yeah.
You're,
With all my knowledge.
you're sitting here on Monday afternoon,
when I say my knowledge,
hungover, exhausted, and you're listening to a little song of Ice and Whiskey to cope. And we're going to tell you
yeah.
exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Seahawks win, Patriots cover. Book it right now. I had one of my dragon dreams, and it told me the final score will be 20-17. Seattle. Luke, can you show the clock on your phone to show what date it is, to show that I'm not fabricating this? My phone is setting up my phone's doing that sweet little background we got back there, so it's occupied. Yeah, so where's the date on there? We can't see the date.
Here.
You probably gotta go to lock screen.
One.
I did not tell him he was about to do this, so y'all bear with my co-host. I put him in an
You're
unbearable
good.
position.
It's all good.
Saturday,
There we
February
go.
7th.
February
Book
7th.
it right now. 2017
At
Seahawks.
11:26.
Enjoy the game. If you guys are gambling on it, gamble responsibly. Enjoy the show.
Yes.
Thank you all for coming back to another episode with us. I feel bad for the audio listeners that are on Apple Podcasts, just hearing that last little bit where I'm asking you to put your phone up to the camera. But I think we're mostly considerate to our audio friends. Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Right.
Less than 120 seconds.
I don't think so. I will say this. There's 2 whole episodes left, and we're obviously going to start the Trial of 7 is going to start pretty quickly in the next episode.
Yeah, I mean, we're
2
here.
whole episodes. Yeah, and I wonder.
I have the same curiosity. If we had a bigger spoiler section, I would
2
go
whole.
deep into
I mean,
it. Like,
right, but I wonder how they're going to spread that out because there's no way it's going to spread. There's no way the whole trial is going to spread out across 2 episodes.
the same director has the episode 6, and she has crushed it. So we'll see what she'll do with whatever is left. Similar.
I'm going to trust.
Yeah. We are running out of time, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to start getting harder on our cap. That's no cap for those that speak that kind of language.
No cap, for real, for real.
All right. Thank you.
We're not that generation.
Hey, thank you guys again for joining us. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Please hit 5 stars on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get the podcast. Reach out to us on social media. I'm Doug Harrelson. That's Luke. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please have a great Super Bowl Sunday as well. Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us. See you next week for more Westeros and whiskey.